Hi, I'm here to introduce Man Talk Monday. And obviously I'm not a man, so I will not be in these videos, but I'm here to introduce someone very important that will be manning these videos. This is my brother-in-law, Chris Reid, and he is a huge part of my life. He's kind of like a brother. I've known him since I was 14, when him and my sister started dating, and he would come around and throw me and my friends up in the air, and we had a great old time. We'd get in the back of his Toyota truck and slide around to the back when he'd turn on the corners. So all my friends know him too. We're asking a lot of Chris. This is not easy to be vulnerable, as a lot of men know. Chris is also loyal as the day is long. So him and Sean, I would say, had a good brother-in-law relationship where they mostly joked around at the expense of my dad. But
some other people maybe too.
Yes. But never really went deep. And how often do men go deep? Like, for instance, I'd be like, Sean would go golfing with someone, and I'd be like, so how's his wife doing, or how's his kids? I don't know. All I know is how they shot on hole 9 or whatever. You know, they talk a little more surface. Is that true?
Yeah.
Because why?
Never gets deep.
Because why?
Well, I don't think, men don't share stuff because we don't want to feel like we've fallen short, or we don't know what's going on, or we can't handle things. And so, in that way that Sean grew up, more than likely, and the way that I grew up was that you were supposed to be tough, and jokingly they would say, you get hurt in sports, rub some dirt on it, get back in there. That's how you were supposed to handle life. You weren't supposed to show any weakness, and you had all the answer. You were supposed to be a tough guy,
up and man up,
toughen up and man up, and there's no crying, so just keep moving forward.
Right.
So
I want you to share what happened in maybe it was a couple weeks, maybe a month before Sean passed. Chris got up in a public setting and said some words.
It was about 3 weeks actually before he passed away. I'd gotten up, and don't remember all the stuff I said, but I was talking about life and the things that have been difficult, and some trouble that we've had that I've had, and some difficult situations in the last 2 or 3 years, and how things kind of suck, sometimes. And when I got done, I being a man, I felt kind of stupid, and I didn't want to walk and face all of these people. So I went outside, and as I went outside and I was walking away, I heard somebody say, "Hey, dude." And I was like, oh no, who is falling? What weird person is going to follow me and try to come talk to me right now? I don't want to talk to anybody. And then I turned around, and it was Sean, my brother-in-law, and he came up to me, and he, and this is a dude that looks like he's on steroids, but he's not. He never took even an ibuprofen in his life. Looked like he was on steroids. He's in amazing shape. Everybody wanted to look like this guy, and just looks like the epitome of toughness. And he came up to me, and he grabbed me around the face like maybe only my wife has, and he had tears, and he was trembling, and he said, nobody gets it, do they? But you get it, because we get it. And at first I was like, thinking, what's he talking about? And then I was like, no, I know what he meant. He meant, yeah, nobody gets that it's hard being a dad, being a sole provider, in a lot of cases, but and really, we grow up and we're supposed to be, our only job is to pay for things, to take care of the temporal needs of our family, and our wives do all the other stuff and the nurturing and that. And so I know for me, it's like, I feel like if I can't even do that, what's the point? I'm worthless. I've served no purpose here. And so when he did that, and then he got me in this huge bear hug and sat there, and then like we were both in tears, like. Yeah. And so then over the next, couple weeks, we would, I would text him and call him, or back and forth, and I'd miss him, and then he'd say, "Oh, I was out doing this," and call me back and whatever. And
he still had a little bit of a hard time opening up even after that.
He did, and then even like he said, "Well, just come over, and if you need to talk, and that was the thing. He was trying to put it like, "Hey, let me help you,"
right? And
when really he needed somebody to help him too. And that's the thing is, we don't get that as men, because we try to act tough, and even in our place we go play basketball or we hang out or whatever, we don't, or we golf, we don't talk about what's really going on or if life sucks, because it's even with other men. Normally you don't want to let them know that, hey, I don't even have this figured out. I'm screwed right now in life. I feel like I'm trying to, I don't have any answers, and people think I know what I'm doing and I'm lost.
Yeah.
And
whereas women, it's okay for us to show vulnerability and weakness, but for men to do it, for some reason there's a stigma that it's weak. But our new mantra is vulnerability is a strength, right?
Yep.
So that's what we're going to do the next couple of weeks. As Chris sits here, he will interview different men, family men, professional men, your everyday man, and talk about his story, share some of the hard things that he's had, and share hard things that other men have had, and get some open dialogue here for men to feel like that they could share. And Chris, I just want to thank you for being vulnerable and also sharing that super tender experience that he had with Sean. One of the things, I was actually in that audience when he was at the pulpit, and it was very tender, and he ended just by saying, even though things suck in life, the one thing that we can count on is Christ being our Savior and his atonement to get us through hard things in life. And so that's kind of the platform we'll use as you talk to other men. And so please stay tuned and come see what we have for you on Mondays. Thanks, Chris.
You bet.